And I did live in Benghazi, and one day back in, I think 2012, I was driving my car, and I was supposed to go meet a friend. And by the time I got to the street corner, a woman stood in front of my car, and she did this. And I don't know if you guys like dabble in like sign language. Like this means stop. And I was like, of course I listen to women. And I stopped. I stopped immediately and I was like, what is she gonna do now? She ran toward my car, she opened the back door and she got in. And before I can say or ask anything, the door next to me also opens. A guy comes in, he points a knife to my face and he says, "Drive now, please." I don't think you needed to add the please. I don't think, at no point was I gonna be like, "Are you forgetting something?" You're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, please." And I'm like, "Okay, we'll drive now." So I drove. I was so scared at the time because in my head I was like, "Oh, these two work together." They kind of like distracted me. They got into my car. My car they're gonna steal my car. Something bad is about to happen to me. I don't know what's gonna happen. I was so scared. And for 10 minutes at the beginning of the ride, it was like just complete silence. And I was like, I need to break the tension somehow. So I looked at them and I was like, "So how do you guys know each other?" And the one was like, "I don't know who this is." I was like, "Oh, sorry, what?" And I was like, "I don't know who this guy is." And I was like, "Do you know who you are? Like, what is going on here?" And she was like, "I don't know." She was like, my phone died, and I waved at you to stop because I couldn't call someone to pick me up, and I just want to ask you for a ride home. And then this guy got it, and I was like, "Why did you get in? What was this to you?" And he was like, "Oh, I saw a woman in need." And I was like, "I should come and help." And I was like, have you helped people before? Is this your first time Is this your first time on this planet? Like, why would you point a knife to my face? And he was like, "Oh, I don't know. I just kind of got, I don't know why I did that." I was like, "Oh my God, I'm riding with two stupid people now. I'm riding with the dumbest people on the planet are in my car right now." And I drove them home. Their story checked out. The woman got out of the car. She was going home. She was knocking on the door. The guy next to me, for some reason, decides he also needs to go with her. He's still helping, He's still helping. He comes out, and he knocks on the door. A guy comes from inside, who I assume was her husband, and he sees this guy who he doesn't know. So they start yelling at one another. I can't hear what they're saying, but they're yelling at one another. And I really got into it. I was like trying to hear what they were saying. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, "Oh, you could have just driven away. You could have just driven away at that point. No one was stopping you." But the thing is, more than anything, I truly love drama. I love drama. I was like, I'm not gonna leave on a cliffhanger. I gotta see this thing through. But then I really got into it too much because I was holding the steering wheel and I got too close and I honked on accident. And that's when the husband saw me. He runs back into the house. He comes out with a gun. He runs toward my car and I was like, I don't think I like this character development at all. He points the gun to my face and he was like, "Who are you and what are you doing here?" And I was like, I honestly, in this scenario, I have no idea. There's no answer I can give you that would make sense. I don't even know who I am in this thing. And then he said, "Should I shoot you right now?" And I was so scared. So I was like, "What? Oh, sorry, what?" And he was like, "Should I shoot you right now?" And I was like, "Okay, you're saying should I shoot you right now?" Like, this is a yes or no question. Like, does it matter if I say yes or no? And he was like, "What?" I was like, you're saying should. And I'm like, does it matter if I say yes or no? And he was like, "Why are you making it weird?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry I'm making it weird." I was like, "I'm scared." And then he was like, "Just go." And I did not know you can survive death by being super annoying. But here we are. But then the guy comes back into my car, and he was like, the knife guy, and he was like, drive us home. And I was like, I don't think there's an us here. I don't even know your name. This relationship only exists in your head. And I was like, I'm just gonna drive this guy home where I'm from, and forget this night that ever happened. We get stopped at a checkpoint, and back then a lot of these checkpoints were controlled by these like militias, like groups like ISIS and whatnot. I don't know what they're doing right now. Kind of fell off. I'm now on their newsletters. I'm now on the ISIS Substack. I have no idea what they've been up to. And they searched my car up and down. There was nothing there. And they started asking questions. One of the questions they asked, they love asking this question, like, they were like, who do you support? Because there are like so many groups out there. They're like, who do you support? And you don't have an answer because you're like, I don't know who you are. I don't want to give you the wrong answer. I don't know what to say. But they start yelling at you and you have to come up with something. And I was like, God, I support God. Does that sound good to you? And they're like, that's pretty dope, actually. That's the whole brand here. I don't know if you've seen the manual. And they let us go, and I was like, my God, I'm just so happy that we're out of this. I drove the guy home. Turns out that guy was my neighbor. And I truly love my community so much. We really bond together. And then as he was leaving my car, he was like, hey man, you can keep this. And he gave me the knife. I was like, what am I doing with this? And he was like, you just keep it. I was like, you never know when you'll need it. Because this neighborhood is very sketchy. I was like, oh, what makes you say that? Did something happen tonight that I'm not aware of? I kept that knife for years, used it to help so many people.